All jokes aside, Minecraft is a pretty relaxing and cozy game. I mean, the colorful and vibrant world with endless blocks and resources at your disposal to build, craft, and mine, dynamic world generation that makes exploration worth your while, and even the quote-unquote challenges presented to the player can more or less be avoided with some well-timed naps, adequate nightlights, and just not traveling through the gates of the underworld. But I think part of Minecraft's charm has always been the vibrant and cozy environment Mojang created for us. And I think it becomes even more fascinating that many of us in the Minecraft community just love to turn this simple, relaxing game into an absolute horror-filled nightmare. Maybe it's the decades-long run of mascot horror and pop culture, or the mountain of analog horror and uncanny valley videos on YouTube, or maybe even just the nostalgia for some simpler things that used to scare us as kids. A large chunk of the Minecraft community have spent their time making horror content. I mean, there's a reason why Herobrine is arguably one of the most iconic parts of Minecraft in general, and is often seen as this third part to Alex and Steve's trio throughout the game. But with all that said, I personally don't think a lot of these horror things we've made have really stuck. I mean, the horror mods are fun to play solo or with friends, but after some time, each horror mod basically becomes this redundant formula of scary sounds, being watched from a distance, being chased, jump scares, etc. Meanwhile, more iconic staples of the Minecraft horror subgenre, like Herobrine, have become shells of themselves as the content farms oversaturate us with these pretty poor quality cash grabs. I mean, what? And I find it fascinating because even though I think the mods and a lot of the fan concept creations have given us mixed results when it comes to Minecraft horror, I think the base vanilla game itself has a ton of horror elements that can truly make Minecraft a scary experience. I mean, I'm not saying that you should be shivering in your netherite boots every time you go down a cave with no torches, but I think the most recent 2024 Minecraft Live has showed us that the horror elements Mojang has added really brightens up the Minecraft experience. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the horror aspects of the base vanilla Minecraft game and explain why these things work, or even just express the potential these things have as horror elements. But with that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down your own thoughts. But with that, let's hop right in. So for this video, I think the best place to start would be with the new biome and mob Mojang has provided us in the 2024 Minecraft Live. The Pale Garden and the Creaking. For those of you who haven't watched the live, or the tons of videos creators across social media have made on the topic, the Pale Garden is this new biome found throughout the Minecraft world. During the day, it's a deathly still environment, with no ambient sounds or music beyond the noises that you make. However, once night falls, the player will find themselves hunted down by these sentient tree-like mobs called the creaking. At first glance, the creaking will seem still, and will only move once you keep your eyes off it. Sounds easy to handle, but after a few swings of your sword, you'll notice that the creaking takes no damage. Instead, you'll be scouring the pale trees looking for an item called the Pale Heart. And as you search to break it, you'll be forced to juggle your surroundings to ensure that the creaking and his friends don't get too close. I don't think I have to express how perfect both the Pale Garden and the creaking are for a horror setup. Compared to the lively experience that is the Minecraft world, the stillness of the Pale Garden should create a very uncanny or uncomfortable feeling. Meanwhile, the creaking creates a new sort of challenge for players to handle that can be nerve-wracking. Almost opposite to the Enderman, which you do not want to make eye contact with, the creaking is a mob that you want to be staring at all times. Additionally, the fact that you cannot defeat these mobs through conventional ways really creates a threat that is antithetical to literally any other mob in the game. And I think it's important to compare the creaking to other horror icons. Immediately, the idea of a statue-based monster that you have to maintain eye contact with to keep it from hunting you down should obviously draw parallels to SCP-173 or the Weeping Angels from the Doctor Who series. And if you know anything of these horror icons, then you should realize the immense potential the creaking has as a horror monster. So moving away from the Pale Garden and the creaking, we now find ourselves deep within the Minecraft caves, traveling farther down than most dare to journey, and stopping at the Deep Dark, home of the Warden. Now, if the creaking is a threat you want to keep your eyes on at all times, the warden is a threat that you hope you never come face to face with. The largest health pool in the game, and can easily defeat the most well-equipped players, Mojang essentially created one of their most difficult bosses ever, where the name of the game isn't to fight the warden, but to rather avoid being found, sneaking your way across the ruins of the ancient city, avoiding the skulk detection. Each time you are caught, you are engulfed into darkness, forced to wait out the passing sounds. Eventually, after enough time getting caught, the warden will rise, quite literally rising and clawing its way to the surface. Its detailed animations and dynamic set of sounds really make this monster a true fright. Mojang themselves have said the purpose of the warden was to be less of a boss you fought and more of a force of nature, which I think is part of the allure of the warden. I mean, you can defeat the warden with enough preparation, but even then it will be difficult to battle, and you will be rewarded with basically nothing for your hard work. And like the creaking, I don't think I need to spend too much time explaining what makes the warden terrifying. You're forced into a position of sneaking, minimizing how far you can run. You can't just stay in one place and hide, because the warden quite literally will sniff you out. Even with ample lighting, the darkness debuff thrown onto you will make it difficult to navigate and look around. And when you do finally get caught, you basically only get a few seconds to act before the warden charges after you. Now again, I'm not saying that the Deep Dark itself is peak horror, but I do think, like the creaking, Mojang took the elements that makes for great horror and already incorporated it into the base vanilla aspects of the warden. That being said, for this video, there is one more element I want to address that Mojang didn't really intend to be scary. So I know I just dunked on Herobrine earlier in this video, but it's spooky season and we are talking about Minecraft horror. So I would be clinically insane if I did not mention the peak horror icon himself, Herobrine. But again, I'm not talking about the Herobrine mod, or the countless videos stating that they found Herobrine. I'm talking more about this. That feeling you have when you're alone in a single player world, or even when you're only playing with a few people, and there's this feeling that you guys are being watched. That feeling that you guys aren't quite alone. But even if it wasn't Notch's ghost of a brother, or a glitch in the code, I'm certain we've had a moment where we felt something was around the corner. Honestly, just check out this video by Random Sageless. He does an amazing job at explaining this more. But the TLDR, there is something just terrifying about not being alone in a world that you expect you are. Whether it's a ghost, a glitch, or God forbid, a stranger who found their way into your server, it can be a terrifying thought. And even with all that said, there's still so many other horror aspects to the Minecraft world. What about the horrific lore of the boundless souls trapped in soul sand or warped into the Enderman? The imagery and abomination that is the Wither. The horrors of being trapped in the depths of the ocean, being hunted by aquatic apex predators while you're unable to claw your way out of their underwater tomb. Don't even get me started with baby zombies, and even creepers. There's something fascinating about the hidden horrors of the Minecraft world. For a game that prides itself in being family friendly and overall a cozy experience to play, there is the potential for genuine horror scares. And I think we all can agree that it's not Mojang's intention to make Minecraft a horror game, but it's clear that a lot of their mobs and game mechanics they add are mechanics that work really well in a horror aspect. It's like what Agnes had said in the recent Minecraft Live. The world Mojang wants to build into Minecraft is one that is dynamic and feels lived in, a thriving complex ecosystem, and maybe that's where the true horror lies. That like the real world ecosystems and forests Minecraft is trying to replicate, there is this unconscious air of mystery and threat. That part of survival is the balance of anxiety-fueled adrenaline while maintaining your wits as you survive the great outdoors and the great unknown. Or I could very much be reading too much into a family-friendly game where sheep look like this. TLDR, if you're going to make a Minecraft mod, maybe move away from the typical horror jump scares and dabble in different ways to show off horror. There's plenty of ways to make a truly scary experience without the need for massive damage, loud noises, and jump scares. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed, and again, please subscribe, like, comment, hype if that's out already, and thank you all for watching. Take care.